Welcome to Godly Play. Today's story is about Harriet Tubman. And this is the story of Harriet Tubman. We remember her during the time of the color purple, during the season of Lent. Harriet Tubman was born a slave. A white man owned her and her family like he owned his horses and land. She lived in a one-room cabin with her mother and father, and they had 11 children, and there was family everywhere. They worked hard, and the children helped. They plowed the fields, planted crops, and hauled logs to be cut into boards to build things. Slaves had to do whatever their masters told them. One time, when Harriet was only 6 years old, her master sent her to another plantation to take care of the white owner's baby. The people there beat her and fed her table scraps. Harriet's mother told her many stories from the Bible. She especially loved the story of Moses, leading the people of God into freedom. She wanted to do that too. One day, Harriet escaped. She was free. But she decided to go back 13 times to help others escape during a trail called the Underground Railroad. She became a new Moses. But this time, Moses was a black woman, full of God and full of courage. Some people thought owning people was okay. Others thought it was awful. A war began in our country to decide if people could do that. Harriet figured out how to help in the war. She said, "The good Lord has come down to deliver my people, and I must go and help them." She became a nurse and took care of the soldiers who were hurt. She also used her cleverness to show the soldiers where the enemy's armies were and what they were going to do next. The war lasted 4 years. It was terrible. But when it was over, slavery ended in our country. After the war, Harriet returned to her family, where she began to care for the poor and the sick. She always seemed to find a way to help, so she also fought for women's right to vote. Harriet was always a helper, but mostly we remember her because she was a new Moses, which led people out of slavery into freedom with God's help. I wonder what parts of Harriet's story you like the best. I wonder what part is most important. I wonder what part is like you or where you might be in the story. I wonder what part of the story we could leave out and still have all the story we need. Let me show you what is inside this booklet and how you can use it to remember Harriet Tubman. When we open the page, we first see a map of the world. There is an arrow pointing to where Harriet Tubman lived, the United States. Below the map is a flag of the United States. On the next page, you see a timeline, and this tells us when Harriet Tubman lived. She was born in 1820, and she died in 1913. You can also read the story that you just heard. Now, let me show you how to put the story away. Here is the cabin that helps us remember the little cabin Harry lived in while she and her family were slaves. Here we have the shovel, the rake, and the hoe that reminds us of how hard they worked. Here is the Bible that reminds us that Harriet's mother taught her the stories from the Bible and how Harriet's favorite was the one about Moses. And here is the Red Cross that helps us remember that Harriet was a nurse and a fighter in the war that ended slavery. Now I wonder what your work will be today. It might be something from the story or another story you heard, or something else. Only you know what is right for you.